Good evening, my friends. Apparently, doing your own research is a good way to end up being wrong by Philip Bump of the Washington Post. Archived, of course, because, well, I can't say that right away. So, who is Philip Bump? This dork doesn't look like he played any organized sports in life. So, Trump said, this is from January 14th, 2019, when Clemson's football team won the NCAA championship for Clemson. So, Trump said they bought 1,000 burgers for Clemson, and it was piled a mile high. Obvious hyperbole. So Philip Bump himself decided to do politics analysis. Philip Bump, there he is. Looks slightly less dorky there. Maybe more dorky, actually. President Trump's extravagant 3,300 sandwich celebration of Clemson University. And let's just bounce through here. So he claims that So again, there's bullshit in this article. They do a detailed analysis of the Clemson spread at the White House with all the logistics of where every piece of food was at every table, with a side table for Domino's. So again, the hilarious piece in this is, there's a nice chart in here about what the counts of everything that was brought. This is, again, the halcyon days of 2019. Interest rates were low. The economy was great. The job market was on fire, pre-COVID, of course. So yeah, that's awesome. But the jewel in here is, again, this is Tom Shad's tweet: 1,000 burgers, a mile high. Obviously hyperbole. So Philip Bump decides to add a fact check: at 2 inches each, 1,000 burgers would not reach 1 mile high. So again, this is what, again, Washington Post, this is a clickbaity fucking article from 2019 when they would get a bunch of clicks because people were raging at Trump because God knows what. I mean, the economy was great, everything is good, immigration wasn't out of fucking control like it is now. So anyway, the internet has always been a huge boon for the accessibility of information. Of course, you have a powerful supercomputer at the tips of your fingers. Don't ask me stupid fucking questions, alright? There are very few barriers to consuming classic literature or detailed scientific analysis or catalogs of news reports, which are mostly bullshit. But he also claims that there's an exorbitant amount of garbage information, mostly on the Washington Post. So, again, we're going to skip most of this bullshit article, which is mostly cope. This is from like 2 days ago, by the way. So, mostly cope, but let's just skip. They bash the Gateway Pundit, which says it looks like a news site in broad strokes, but their history of propagating nonsense. But he claims that nonsense is stuff he doesn't fucking agree with, so fuck him. So doing your own research might lead you to reputable looking sources that are anything but. Yeah, so again, this douchebag here wants to decide what is misinformation and what is not, and I vehemently disagree with him. Huge fucking pussy that he is. So here we go. This is some recent misinformation, disinformation, and watch what well, you can't really see, but trust me, I'll put a link in the description below if you want to read it for yourself. This has been central to the effort by House Republicans to allege that President Beijing Biden was engaged in impeachable activity. House Oversight Chairman James Comer has repeatedly offered allegations. That's linking to the Washington Post. Yeah, that's red flag right there. Allegations that Biden that mirror the presentation, which is his receipts that Comer brought, of lengthy, detailed investigations, but then, quote, collapse under scrutiny, also linking to the Washington Post. So there's no agenda here, Philip Bump, gigantic McLovin-looking douchebag. Supporters said a subset of Donald Trump supporters said Biden acted inappropriately and are happy to accept allegations as legitimate, while conservative media largely shields them from debunking, because just because you write fucking loan repayment on a check, that doesn't mean it's not fucking money laundering. Again, there should be a complete paper trail of everything that goes on with all this shit, and it should be fairly easy, cut and dried. But again, fuck off. This deep state bullshit is protecting Biden, and I don't know why, but they want to throw him aside. Part of them wants to throw him aside, part of them wants to keep him for some reason. So why did many Iowa caucus goers indicate that they thought Biden's win was illegitimate? Maybe because there's a ton of fucking evidence that shows that it was. He is illegitimate. Partly because of Trump's advocacy for the idea, or just documented evidence that most common sense thinking people would see, and certainly in part of the impermeability of right wing media universe. But many too cited their own research. Hey, you are claiming they cited doing their own research, looking for information on the subject that ended up reinforcing their beliefs. So, the most extreme example of America's recent willingness to embrace nonsensical claim is the QAnon movement. Now, I was aboard that for about, I don't know, a week and a half. And I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. None of this stuff is going to happen. I'm checking out. Again, I thought it was a complete psyop. I still believe that. And QAnon went silent, I believe, on January 6, 2021, after the mostly peaceful protest at the Capitol. QAnon adherents, who I don't really know how many more there are out there, say a secret cabal controls the world. Well, I kind of agree with this, but I'm not a QAnon adherent. A secret cabal controls the world with media, entertainment, and political elites conspiring. And some believe they traffic children and consume a secret chemical that children produce. Note, everybody produces adrenochrome, but children produce it more efficiently. I don't know why I know that, but I do. Many of whom I spoke with in 2018 and 2019 simply viewed QAnon as an organizing concept for how Trump was battling nefarious, powerful forces on their behalf. Oh my God, it's actually a little bit of nugget of truth in here. I mean, QAnon was just a psyop of bullshit. So, Philip remembers clearly, which might be complete bullshit also, standing outside a Trump rally in New Hampshire in 2019 and speaking to a guy in a QAnon t-shirt. You seem really obsessed with QAnon. I don't know if I could identify a QAnon t-shirt. He was very genial and matter-of-fact in his claims, and he suggested that he knew why I didn't agree with his assumptions. What I needed, he said, was to do some of my own research. But again, you're too blue anon, geek, nerd. You'll never accept anything that goes against the narrative, because you're paid to support the narrative. So fuck you, Philip Bump, you full of shit retard. So I hope I can say that on YouTube, because this is going to go there. So thanks for watching. If you like my content, hit subscribe, hit the like button, notification bell, leave me a comment. I read all the comments of my friends. Pick up some non-perishable food, and God bless.